Hi everyone. I can see a few sad faces that I think people are expecting lunch, and suddenly I'm there on the stage. But sorry for being in between your lunch and this session. I'll keep it crisp and short. I think I'll not bore you with the stuff and try to keep it entertaining as much possible. The topic that we have today is around NBFC, but just wanted to give a shout out to the organizers here. I think this is an amazing event that they have conducted, bringing all of us together. So can we have a round of applause for the organizer, please? Yeah, it's the last session was very entertaining. Ravi sir actually managed to do some get some dance moves out of us, as well as some sort of debates. I think those I liked those debates where Hardik was saying that the doomsday is coming, and Rupesh was saying that no, nothing is going to change. So I like those debates. So I think it was quite entertaining how the flow of the day is going. I hope I can add some value to it. I'm going to bring a fintech angle to it. I'll just talk about what NBFCs and fintech partnership is. You must be knowing about Razorpay already. Razorpay is a fintech player, a payment gateway company, which is now getting into the neo banking and other things. We'll talk about Razorpay a little bit later, but let's start with uh, talking about NBFCs first. I think there's a lot of growth which is happening in the organization, and NBFCs are leading that. So I think it's not surprising to say that a lot of economic growth and reaching to the larger masses and the tier twos of the world, creating and opening use cases for the newer industries, all of that is driven by NBFC. So all of you are powering it, and this is an event which sort of uh, my core belief is that the money is the core. It's a core fuel to power any business, and I think NBFCs enable businesses to get that money access and grow faster. So I think NBFCs are like you guys are playing an amazing role in accelerating digital economy. But like at the same time, there's a huge chunk of business. So I was reading through some reports about 40 crores of users, consumers, as well as businesses. They are either underserved or unserved, right? Which creates a lot of opportunity for us. Like we always keep talking about how most of the businesses are targeting the top 1% or top 2%. So today's I wanted to cover that how fintech collaboration can take you beyond that 2%. Um, so just talking that how NBFCs and fintech sort of go hand in hand, like why this is an ideal equation to create an hyper growth for your business. Um, so a lot of businesses today have created amazing distribution channel, right? Like think of Amazon, Flipkart, etc. I'm not even talking about fintech right now, but everyone is into endeavor of increasing their top lines, and that's why these businesses are getting into the fintech or lending space precisely. If you have to translate that, what it means is we have heard of this popular term called embedded finance recently. So this embedded finance is what is creating a value to end customer as well as these business, because businesses are making money, end customer is finding credit through these channels. I'll also give example of BNPL, how BNPL has come into the last few years. It's a new use case which has come in. The reason why I said BNPL is I wanted to draw some attention because I think BNPL is like it used to be a very hot topic about a year back, but now I think um, uh, it's a little bit shaky in some sense, right? There are some use cases which are working well, some use cases are not working well. So, but the point about BNPL as a whole is that fintech can actually generate these use cases for you, and the fintech can find a lot of like ways to create these distribution, etc. Right? The 40 crore number that I said earlier, this fintech is a way to reach that 40 crore number of the new users. Um, Another example I wanted to give, and this is a very good fact that I was reading in the morning. There's about the internet or the smartphone penetration in India today. It stands around 70%, which is astonishing, right? Like it blew my brain. Like how did we reach 70%? But it's an astonishing number, and it is bound to go beyond 95% in next 15 years. And you can imagine 95% is practically everyone owning a smartphone. um, if you translate this into, let's say, some sort of a numbers in terms of, let's say, smartphone, how many smartphones came in the last year? About 15 crores of smartphones were sold in India last year. But let me just compare this number with, let's say, a loan or a credit card. In India, the overall credit card penetration is only 9 crores, right? So where the economy is accelerating towards going digital so fast. Your penetration of lending and the other products is still like it's not touching the grassroots, and that shows a lot of headroom to grow. And like how can we grow much faster? Which is where the people like the fintechs come into picture. We create those distribution strategies and distribution levers for you. We create those custom onboarding journey for you. We find out a ways to do it in a very regulatory compliant manner, in a way where data is also protected, data is also safe, right? So, and create a lot of money flows use cases, cash flow use cases. So this is where fintech collaboration makes sense. um, I'll just talk about a little bit on what RazorpayX is doing in this space, and this can just bring together whatever I was talking about, how we are powering NBFCs to accelerate further on this case. So before that, I just wanted to like put this slide as a brag-worthy slide. Like these are the NBFCs that we work with today. These are just a few NBFCs out of all. So practically all the big names that you can see here. But what are the solutions that we are targeting? So Razorpay today works on both collection side and on the payout side. So think of you as an individual use case. You would have n different way of collecting money. So you would want to get your salary, you would want to get your own reimbursements for the expenses that you're putting through. You would want to collect rent from any rental property that you have given. So there are n different ways so money comes to your account, right? Similarly, there are different ways so money goes out of your account. You again have to pay, let's say, to your house help, etc. Similarly, for a business wants to collect money on their website, on their app, through their customer support. And similarly, business also have to do multiple payments. So they have to pay to salaries, they have to pay for reimbursement, compliance payments, regulation taxes payments, pay to their vendors, pay to their end consumers, right? So all of these use cases are readily available. Razorpay builds on both sides. Razorpay builds on the collection side, which is the PG arm of us, and we build on the payout side, which is the RazorpayX arm of it, right? And in between stands capital. Like I started my presentation saying that the money is the fuel to grow. How do you get that money is through Razorpay Capital. Here we partner with NBFCs and banks. We go to them and say that like we work with more than 2 million businesses today in India. If you want to have access to those business and their cash flow data, we can provide that in some sort of like through a consent layers and all data protection layers. Uh, and you can actually build underwriting models on that data. Similarly, you can come to Razorpay and Razorpay can build that layers for you. So these are the smart decisions that we are able to make, right? Now, let me just give you a little bit glimpse, go one level deeper and talk about what these data layers I'm talking about. So think of any e-commerce business. The data that we have and which allows us to do a smarter underwriting. For that business, we know a pulse of what is happening in terms of volumes every moment, right? We know the seasonality in the business. We know how many customers are doing a repeat transactions. We know how many customers are coming and asking for a refund. We know how many customers are doing a chargeback on that business, right? All these data points are extremely helpful for us to determine the health of that business, right? We talk about propensity to pay, ability to pay, like all of that is very much possible to Razorpay's data. And we work with NBFC as a partner to like create smarter underwriting models on that, right? So a distribution lever, creating an underwriting engine, and of course, like we do a collection engine for you. So from your customer, you would want to set up a Natch engine, you would want to set up, let's say, a payment link engine. All of that is done through Razorpay. So we are solving all that part for you. But at the same time, we also do much more beyond that. We also help you like manage your secure flow, money flow. We help you in disbursals of these payments. We help you in managing the escrows or current accounts behind it, right? We give you a lot of fintech management solutions around it. We give you an LMS around it. We give you a collection engine around it, and we also give you a recon reports around it. So um, the biggest problem that a business faces, I don't know how these data is adding up to me, and where the gaps are, what the leakages are. We can help you do the automation because we are not just looking at lending as a standalone thing, but the end-to-end cash flow of a business. And moreover, like we can actually help you do a lot of regulatory navigation, right? I'll give you an example of this. We recently built a product along with the P2P as a sector. We went to them and like a lot of these business, Liquilo, Lending Clubs, all these are live with us. So what they do is they have to disburse the money automatically to the end party, and that dispersal engine did not exist before. We worked with Access Trustee and built that dispersal APIs. So today you can move that money end to end through an automatic without a human touching to it, and that's a huge boost because that opens up an industry and opens up a use case. So we do those innovations for the businesses. This escrow also allows you to manage multiple lenders on your platform, because you can do a real-time creation of this customer identifiers or virtual account as we say it, and you can create on your own current account, the RazorpayX powered current account, and onboard a lender very fast. So all these use cases is something that we are solving, right? So yeah, I think I just wanted to, like I promised, I wanted to keep it crisp and sharp. So these are the synergies that we can explore with you. We have a booth outside. Please come to our booth. We can speak more, and then yeah, happy to collaborate here.